My first duty station right out of submarine school was on the waterfront in Groton, Connecticut. Submarine schools in Groton, Connecticut, and so was the USS ARCHERFISH SSN 678. One of the things that I deeply enjoyed about the submarine force was the fact that it gave me an opportunity to overcome one of my biggest hurdles, which I didn't even know about until I joined the Navy. I've got a color vision deficiency, of all things. And you would think that would disqualify me from basically serving in the submarine force, maybe even specifically the Navy, but no, there's waivers for everything in the military. It did relegate me to an administrative role where I came in and trained as a personnelman responsible for maintaining enlisted records and correspondence. Ended up changing jobs to being a yeoman, which was responsible for officer service records and correspondence. Notice the common theme, correspondence. And oh, by the way, I actually failed the typing test to be a journalist, which is like a multimedia or mass media specialist today in the Navy. Anyway, couldn't type fast enough coming in through the military entrance place in Fresno, but I could type fast enough to get through my technical training and ultimately end up on submarines. But that's not the point of this. The point of this is when you get into the submarine force, you have 2 years to qualify in submarine warfare. And I took that as a challenge, quite literally. And I went, how fast can I get this done? And I had heard rumors about guys who were hot runners, which was the term they used, who were able to get their qualifications done in a year to 9 months or 9 months to a year. And I went, you know what? Maybe I can do that too. And I focused and I was qualified at right about a year. Well, no, it was under a year because I joined the Archerfish in February and I was qualified in November. Wow, that's weird. I hadn't even thought of it that way. Anyway, and we were on a Mediterranean deployment for that basically the entire time that I was qualifying. So that worked to my advantage. Very little import time. How does that tie into leadership? Leadership, in many ways, is about focusing on the main thing, the one thing that will help accelerate you, your team, your organization to that next level. For me, being hyper-focused on submarine qualification acted as an extreme accelerator. I earned respect. I gained trust. I was not considered a non-usable body, which is basically the derogatory term that they use for people who are not qualified on submarines. You're also known as a nub. Due to that focus, due to that laser-like dialed-in attention, I was able to do one of the toughest things in the military, which is to qualify as a nuclear submarine warfare specialist. That is no easy task. In fact, in ways, and it's not even a fair comparison, it is tough like the special operations and special forces qualification. Not nearly as physically demanding as submarines. I mean, you don't have the space to work out and be physically exhausted through a hell week or whatnot like the Navy SEALs. But suffices to say, again, being hyper-focused like a laser on getting something accomplished as a leader to the exclusion of other distractions is really a key to your ongoing success. It builds trust, builds credibility, builds respect amongst your colleagues. It is highly undervalued and I oftentimes think underrated. So if you can stay focused on the main thing, the most important thing, both in your professional life as well as in your private life, you're going to end up being a really great leader in the long run.